chances of getting hurt or worse.
I could have saved your life that day,
but I chose to look the other way.
It wasn't that I didn't care. I had the time, and I was there.
But I didn't want to seem a fool or argue over a safety rule.
I knew he'd done the job before. If I spoke up, he might get sore.
His chances didn't seem that bad. I'd done the same, he knew I had.
So I shook my head and walked on by. He took risks as well as I. He took a chance, I closed an eye. And with that act, I let him die.
I could have saved a life that day. I chose to look the other way.
Now every time I see his wife, I know I should have saved his life. That guilt is something I must bear, but it isn't something you need share.
If you see a risk that others take that puts their health or life at stake,
The question asked or thing you say could help them live another day.
If you see a risk and walk away, then hope you never have to say.
I could have saved the life that day. I chose to look the other way.
Up to this point in the seminar, we've been identifying unsafe acts and conditions, right? So now are we ready to approach after, listen to the true message of that video? Absolutely, right? But I still say not quite yet. How come? Karen, do you mind hitting the light for me? Thank you. Well, we gotta understand ourselves. Why don't we, approach? Why don't we stop someone? Address some of them there. What were some of the reasons that he had said? Angry, mad, higher authority. Yeah, confront them, have that, that friction. But if we don't stop that act, what's the worst case scenario that could happen? Die. Done. Right? And are you willing and ready to live with that survivor's guilt? I mean, that's tough pill to swallow. I mean, I'm sure in this room there's probably a good handful of us who've been in the presence of someone when they pass on. And man, it changes you. It really does. Whether on the job or just family, in the hospital. Seeing that person there one day, there one moment, and then gone the next. See a lot of heads thinking right now, thinking back, I remember when my parent, my grandparent, or a friend or whatnot passed. And shoot, it makes you change, right? It helps you reevaluate and recenter on what your core values really are, right? And whenever we stop someone from doing an unsafe act or condition, we're essentially keeping them here another day. You never know the power of a stop. You never know the power of an intervention. People act unsafely for many reasons. That's kind of getting ahead of myself on why don't we stop people. But why do people work unsafely? A few different reasons. Habit.
Rush.
Yeah, you rush.
Complacency.
Get complacent. You get in the groove, right? You've been doing that same act or that same job for the last 12 hours or the last 12 years, right? What's that? You're tough, right? You're macho. How about you? Daydreaming. You're exhausted, right? Sleep deprived. Other reasons? Anybody from Colorado in here? Working? Oh, come on, leave the states out of this. Come on. Right? But good, legal, or illegal, I'll alternative substances be a factor? Those we're working with? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you might have had an operation or a procedure, right? You might be on a strip. Are you good to go hop out in the crane? Start rigging in some suspended loads? 10,000, 20,000 pound, units or hard line or no, probably not, like you say. Or how about you're at the end of your shift, right? You've been up here working for 12 weeks, 4 weeks, or whatnot. You're ready to take off. You're at the end of your actual day shift, or what's the end of your, pitch up here in the pack. Shoot, your mind's on those projects, on those honeydews, right? Yeah, I got them. On those real things that we come up here to do. So we get ahead of ourselves with that. So we need to know that stopping the act, we're 80% there. You just say, hey, hold up. Man, you're on third base in my book. You just hit a triple, right? Baseball season started up yesterday, right? It rained out the night before. Anybody watch the game yet? No. This is work for a living, kid. Sorry, we're not in safety. Ouch! Stop turning the knife. Yeah, so I'd say that stop that. Make sure people understand. Sometimes they don't even know. They've been doing that way. Well, this is just the way we've always done it. You always hear that, analogy, right? But it's true. And a lot of times you can just ask a question. Hey, why? What are you doing? Hold up. What's going on? And then open up that conversation. Figure out how to do it safely, in a better manner. If they don't know or you don't know, get someone involved. There's a good likelihood within our body of knowledge of 75 people, or per shift, we'll have anywhere from 25 to 40 people on location. Someone's going to have the answer. If not, we got smart devices, right? So let's figure it out. And then get that buy-in, get the agreement. Hey, you do that for me? Good deal. Appreciate it. There's different ways you can hit elbows. Come on, give me an elbow. Knuckles? Yeah. Get that agreement. Whatever your style is, whatever your brand, just get that buy-in to be able to work different, work safer, work in a better way that they're not going to lop off a limb or kill someone else. So is it possible to make a difference by just demanding or telling? There's the two different approaches that we got. We can tell, right? Be direct. Avoid, ought, and should. How many people are the tellers out there? You are the commander-in-chief. Thou shalt do this now. Listen here, hand. Yeah? You?
Yeah.
Old school, right? New school. They say it's a little bit softer of an oil pill, a little bit more questioning. How do you feel? Come here, let's have a hug. PC, but, yeah. So there's the questioning approach, which is, like we say, sometimes appropriate. Sometimes it's more of a telling. Sometimes you gotta blend the two, right? So imagine you have someone in a safety critical situation. We're not gonna, start asking questions. We're gonna tell the man, move out of harm's way. Or if you are the subject matter expert, you have that authority, and people understand. A lot of times, we all have different skills and abilities, different ways that we talk, communicate, right? And as people who are receiving this, how many people have been on the receiving end of a stop or intervention or correction. How is it, you know? How's like your actual pride, you know? Be real. How do you feel? Yeah, you can't feel stupid. You're like, duh, or who's this guy? Right? So many times we'll be there, but being on the receiving end is just as more important of a stop intervention. Being coachable, right? Being trainable, being agreeable. Receive the message, and remember that they're doing it out of the. Dude, that's not my chart.
I had to erase it.
The caring. That's right there, right? Thor. Thor's hammer. I think that's more the telling approach, right? It's a Thor's hammer. But yeah, let's make sure that we receive it and be thankful. Say, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for saving my butt. Thanks for saving my life. People are like, no, I didn't save your life. No, you very well could have. Worst case scenario. How are you going to feel if someone thanked you for stopping them or for correcting them? It's going to make all the difference in the world. And that's really what the culture is that we drive out on location. And we appreciate you guys to be participants and buy into that. Drink the Kool-Aid, right? So let's make sure that, just to recap, to have an effective stop, sure that we get well, obviously effective stop is 80%. Stop, right? Get them to stop in action, that they're doing. Then secure whatever safety critical items there are. Then have the conversation, figure out why they're doing it, and then get an agreement to be able to change, and then move on, move forward. You guys good with that? So I got 4 fresh pots of coffee, a working vending machine, and donuts for your last break. I think I got it nailed this time. So let's take one more break. Make it 7 minutes long.
Sure. And I have a few signatures. We can't see the spelling. So if you don't have your name, you know, I've got a little bit of trouble. So I need to see David with Halliburton, John with Creek, James with Creek, Mike with Cud, Andrew with Halliburton. Is that Stewart with Halliburton? ST. And then